at the age of 19, I went completely cold turkey, getting off of every known addiction that I had within my life. Now, I know most people think this is crazy. They might even think that it's dangerous. But for me, I was in such a place of like desperation to change my life that I had to purge my life of everything. And when I was going through this transition, I thought that once I made a decision to sober up, that everybody was going to be happy for me, right? So those who were in that lifestyle with me, I had an assumption that they wouldn't be too happy, but at least the people in my everyday life, like I believed, the family and these, people who seemed to want better for me, people were sending those messages when I was in that lifestyle, like, oh, please don't be in that lifestyle. But something I came to realize, which was very peculiar, very interesting, right, was that when I got off the dope, not everybody was cheering on the other side. Now, they may have put on the disguise that they were so happy for me, but there was a part of them that thought to themselves, ooh, wait, so what does that mean about me? Because I needed him in order for me to feel better or to look better within my own standing, right? I seemed like a superhero in the story because I was taking care of this poor little druggie. Now he's sober. Wait, what does that mean? And God forbid he actually do well for himself and he starts to aspire towards higher things in his life. What does that mean about my own identity? Those were the sort of things I was facing. Now, I didn't understand this at the time. I just thought to myself, why aren't they more happy? Why aren't they more supportive? And why are they, sometimes even bringing up the past the way that they were? And I thought, okay, it must be because I was so wrong. I was so out of whack. I was so out of line. And I hurt so many people that surely, they got to hold on to it. And therefore, I will hold on to this resentment. But when I really started unpacking, and in hindsight, at this very moment in my life, with the conscious awareness that I now have, I realized that when you change, the environment around you, if it does not change or you don't change your current environment, right? If you're in the same environment and you change, that environment is going to respond to your change oftentimes in a negative or adverse way. And I believe that's an indicator for you to move to another environment, to get yourself into a different state or a different place completely. Not saying state as in you live in Ohio and now you got to move to Nebraska or something like that, right? That's not what I mean, like literal state. I just mean like your state of consciousness and your environmental state. You can't expect to have a completely different life if you're living in the very same place where you lived your life of destruction, right? So I found myself finally sobering up and actually aspiring towards higher things. So I transformed my life quite literally. I started meditating. I was, I was building out my little startup, reading every single day, listening to audiobooks and podcasts and this, that. I mean, I became a self-help junkie as opposed to, hooked on the dope. And at that moment, or in those moments, I guess not at a moment, but in those moments, I was like, damn, like, I thought I was going to have some type of, cheerleaders or somebody's going to pop up with the pom-poms and, hey, Aquarius, you so fine, you so, like, I thought somebody was going to do something. But then I realized quickly that not only was I not going to get support, but I was actually going to get more individuals who tried to initiate my old lifestyle or question my true motives and intentions of where I was, right? So, I mean, obviously the ones who were in that lifestyle with me, obviously they wanted me back in, right? Because it was completely disrupting their own identities. It's like, damn, like you are a focal point of our identity. You're a focal point of what we were and what we do here. And now that you're not this anymore, what does that mean about me? So who am I now without you being who you are? Right? Those are the people who are, dope boys and junkies and all types of stuff with me. But again, the one that surprised me the most was the ones who claimed to want the very best for me. But once I was in that very best, they were looking at me like, damn, I was hoping he would stay in there so I could continue to go to the church group and front like, oh, my nephew, he's on the dope. Please save him, please. Now that he's saved, now what? Now that he cleaned himself up, now what? Now what am I going to do? Now what am I going to pitch to them as me being the superhero? Oh, I called my nephew yesterday and oh man, I told him a word that just blessed his whole heart. And I think he's going to be clean one day. Well, guess what? He's clean now. Now what? Now where do we stand? Now we are equals or presumably equals in your eyes. And now you can't save me. So what does that say about you? And trust me, you're not alone. Like I was the same way in a lot of my relationship dynamics. I had that savior complex. I would hope to have somebody who was slightly or very broken in order for me to hide behind that, right? Or to find my own worthiness through that. So I would come in as this, Captain Sava, whatever, fill in the blank, word of your preference. And I would feel better about myself for being that person. So that meant as soon as this person is actually no longer broken, like, what am I going to do with you? Carrie often says, Carrie Nicole, make sure to check out her content. Also, her new book, Poems for Healing the Dead Things. Phenomenal. I read phenomenal because I got a preview before it even came out, but I'm still waiting on my copy right now. Right? But she says, so who are you when you are now in a relationship where you no longer have to fix the person? Do you know? For some of us, we've been in this, in this rotator cuff of fixing, that when we come to a place of, wait a minute, I'm with a whole person now? I'm with a person who doesn't need me saving? What's my identity? Like, how am I going to get my worthiness? Not next. Bring me a project. Bring me a Build-A-Bear. Bring me somebody I got to fix. Bring me somebody I got to do something with, as opposed to somebody who's already secure within themselves, God forbid, who already knows their own value intrinsically. Oh, man. Nah, today I came to rip Band-Aids off. Today I came to rip Band-Aids off. We're not going to hold back today. We're not going to hold back. Not on this one. Not on this one. Because, hold up, share squeaking and stuff. Because we really start finding ourselves in this place where we believe that people want the best for us simply because when we are in the state of darkness per se, right? When we're lost, they are there. We think that that individual actually genuinely wants the best for us, when in reality, they're positioning themselves. Catch this. They position themselves in a way to where the world sees them as a good person for helping you while you're in your state of quote unquote darkness or quote unquote lostness. But as soon as you are no longer in that place, they do not know what to do with you. Literally. As a matter of fact, you actually become a contradiction, right? I remember a story by Grant Cardone, businessman and fellow YouTuber, right? Fellow social media influencer, if you were to call it that. And he was talking about when he became sober at around 25 years old, and he would go to these AA meetings and he would tell them, I'm gonna become a billionaire one day. Like, I'm gonna become this and I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, do this. And they would say, whoa, slow your roll. The worst thing you can do right now as a recovering addict is to create these high expectations and aspirations. They said the highest aspiration you should have for your life is to be sober. The highest regard you should hold is another day of sobriety. And he said, wait a minute. I thought getting sober was about creating a better life for myself. I thought it was about becoming more and, being all that God intended me to be. And, the people in that program continue to kind of disincentivize him because they thought, oh, surely if he went and did all that, then, he'd be in a terrible place somehow. But I believe their true intention was, whoa, like, slow your roll, buddy. We can only serve you or serve ourselves through you if you are here struggling with us. If you become this person, if you become this shining light, if that actually happens, then what's that going to mean about me, who was in the very same place that you were, but now I'm still in the very same place that you were. And you, who was in this very same place, is now where you are. What's that going to say about me? I'm telling you, folk be really getting you to believe that it's like about you. They really get you to believe it has to do with you. Like, the reason why they're helping you is for you. The person I love most is the one who admits who it's for. I can at least respect you if you're willing to tell me that, yeah, I got a motive, I got an agenda. Like me, I do what I do because I'm called to it, I'm compelled to it, but I love doing what I do. Like, I've been back to back with content. I got off of writing, 2 new chapters for my new book, right? I'm after this, I'm gonna be recording some music. I'm gonna be having beautiful conversations with people I love. I'm doing all things that I love. I am living a life based on me, and guess what? You guys get a benefit as a byproduct of that. That's a byproduct of me Enjoying my gifts is y'all get to delve into it and it gets to have an impact on you. I'd be lying if I said it's just for the greater good of humanity and nothing else, nothing at all. Like, no, that's not how we're programmed, or that's not even not how we're created. We might be programmed into such, but we are created in a way where we have personal incentives to get things done in order to then serve one another. When the spider is eating the flies, it's not thinking to itself, oh man, I'm really helping ecology, right? When it's eating all those gnats and those bugs that would cause a famine if there was too many of them, the spider's not thinking to itself, oh man, oh gee, I really got to take care of this environment of ours. Let me just get rid of a few flies. Nah, it's thinking, man, lunch, lunch, lunch. That's all it's thinking. It's thinking food, 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 food. I'm about to eat. It is literally centered within itself, and therefore we get the benefits of what that spider then produces in our ecosystem. It's the very same way for ourselves. So long as we are literally centering ourselves in what we're here to do in our purpose, people are going to be blessed as a byproduct. Michael Jordan was going to play basketball whether you liked it or not. You just happened to be watching while he did what he loved most, and he did at the highest level. That's what that was about. Phelps was about to be swimming regardless. Dana Patrick was about to be in that car speeding off. I know, trust me, Aries, I know them Aries. She was about to be in that car regardless. She did not need you or anybody else's approval to do so. She didn't need you clapping for her. You just had the benefit of being able to watch her and be inspired by her doing what she does best. And so when all of us are operating from this place, all of us are operating from this space, bro, it's a game changer. But when you're in a space where the people around you are benefiting off of your weakness, perceived weakness, I guess you would say, once you start to step into that true personal power, they don't know what to do with you, bro. They don't. And so they lose their own identity in that. And they're afraid of that. So they will do everything to preserve where you are. That's why enabling exists. It's, I don't know who you would be if you stop being this person, so I'm going to continue to feed into this person, right? Yeah, there's a guilt complex. Shout out to my first published book, Doing Me Guilt-Free. As a matter of fact, let me hold this up while I speak. I was trying to do like the subliminals, like boom, like every now and then I'll hopefully like go like this and you'd see it and you would wonder what it was. Then I'd mention it and it was already programmed into your subconscious. But I'm just going to hold it up like this because I ain't got no shame. I got no guilt. And it's my video, my book. I do what I want. My video, my choice for real. So boom, right there, right? Doing me guilt-free. You're seeing it right there. This is how we are to live our lives. And there are going to be people who try to kill your vibes. But you know what you're going to do? Do like the Bee Gees and stay alive. Doing me guilt-free. Get yourself a copy. Click the description and link below, or the comment, or the link that is pinned to the top of the comment section. One of those two is going to lead you to this book directly. But getting back to the point at hand, it's time to sober yourself up for you. And don't look for cheerleaders. You don't need them. You don't need a single person rooting for you. All you need is the power that is within to move through you. And when you make that decision and when you step out of that space, aspire for the highest, bro. Like really reach for the absolute highest. Don't look at yourself and say, oh, everyday sobers, that's really living. No, living is living in your purpose. Living is living in what you're here to do and to contribute. Living is thriving, not surviving. You understand me? The only sir you should be is when you get ignited by the queen. I'm back in my music vibe, so I just got bars spitting off. But I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Much love, appreciation, peace.